As you all know, I'm a proud Gear Chronicle main. It's been over a year now since Overdress started, and while there's been a bunch of new ride lines for Dark States, Bushroad has yet to give us anything for its time travel steampunk clan. No, you don't count. You haven't been fully revealed yet. Anyways, welcome back to Gear Corner, your one-stop shop for all things Gear Chronicle, where today, I'm gonna fix that. After the hero united Dark States all that time ago, Gear Chronicle lost their time manipulation powers and were subjected to pretty much speed support for the rest of the nation. While this was fine for some, there was a sect that pined to break the limits of time and space yet again, or at the very least revive their lost hero. This group used their nation's newly united resources, making pact with demons, gaining power of the strongest gallows ball players, the magical prowess of all its performers, all mixed in with their own technology knowledge. It became known as a cult wishing to free themselves from a world frozen in time. In other words, Chronostasis. Welcome to my custom ride line. The cult of Chronostasis will do anything to achieve its goals, no matter the cost. They have some very powerful potential, but at the cost of them being an archetype that races through the deck, making it literally a race against actual time to get their time powers back. But enough gushing. Let's go ahead and talk about the cards. Right after a word from our sponsor, which is me. Because I'm not popular enough to have a sponsor, so subscribe if you enjoy and tell your friends so maybe I can eventually get there. Oh yeah, and in those, check out my page on TCG Player or use code SKYRIDGE to save yourself on any of your Raise Energy orders if you want to help support the channel. Hey guys, quick update from Future Editing, Jared here. Just wanted to say that I'm sorry these are not the full versions of the cards. It's been long enough just to draw them, get the line art good and solid, but I couldn't find a good template for D format, so I had to use some B1s, and they didn't really have the correct text, so sorry that looks a little weird. And of course couldn't really do much coloring with my current setup, so if you guys want to help me get some actual good like Photoshop things or whatever, make sure to check out our sponsors and stuff. They help support the channel, bring money back to and stuff. Yay, give me money. But I did still work really hard on the cards. And hey Cody, am I on camera? Oh she now, she got my arms. Thank you. Yeah, I have worked really hard on these cards over the last few months between doing some art and playtesting them and stuff, so hope you guys do enjoy this. Be sure to like and comment. Maybe I will do some playtesting videos for you in the future with this deck using the updated cards once they have art and proper text on them and stuff. Anyways, on to the show. Team Recruit of Chronostasis, Nova. It's a starter. I mean, there's not much to say there besides it being, like, lore-wise, the legendary recruit from the Diablo's team. Pretty much a hired muscle to help smooth things out when things get a little rough. Team stage of Chronostasis, Gerardo. As a scientist and spellcaster, Gerardo is pretty much the brains of the group. As a grade 1 of the ride line, he has a skill on Vanguard as well as on Rearguard. Vanguard skill. When read upon by the grade 2 I'll show you guys in a second, you can soul charge 1 and bind the top card of your deck to gain an extra drive check. This soul charge 1 and bind 1 cost is a mechanic that's shared through most of the cult, and through the V and Stride formats. Gaining drive has always been a thing that Gear Chronicle is known to dabble with, so it seemed like a pretty appropriate effect. As for its Rearguard skill, when its unit attacks or boosts, you can bind top card of your deck. When you do this, you gain 5,000 power times the grade of the card bound. This skill makes Gerardo a very powerful unit at the cost of further accelerating your deck out potential. Team Sniper of Chronostasis, Javed. No, not Jared, I'm not that jaded yet. Also, it means reverse. All of these guys have a time theme name in some other language, which I thought was really cool and appropriate for Gear Chronicle. If you look at a lot of the old Steam units names that just feel like random Arabic whatever words, it's just, I literally googled a bunch of time related names for all these guys. Anyways, as his name suggests, Javed is the marksman of the gang. And just like Gerardo before him, he has a skill that activates when you road upon him, as well as rearguard ability if you call him to the field. Let's take a look. So, when road upon by the grade 3 in this ride line, you again get to soul charge 1 and bind card from your deck. If you pay this cost, this turn your opponent cannot call guards from their hand with the same grade as the card's soul charge for this cost. Ugh, that's a long sentence. This skill basically gives your deck both Guard Restrict, which Gear Chronicle was kind of famous for in its earlier years when the deck still was kind of figuring out what it's supposed to do, but also goes with the skill of Javed being a shady sniper kind of guy, just using tactics to get the perfect shot without being noticed. Then on Rearguard, once per turn after its unit attacks, you may soul charge one and bind this unit to call one other card not named Javed from your bind zone. Oh yeah, Gear Chronicle sure does use the bind zone as another hand for multi-attacking, be it setting cards there for timely, or the new way that Steam Maidens do it, that kind of called cards from the bind zone. It's always kind of just been the engine to do something involving putting cards in your bind zone to get a multi-attack off in. And I felt like using the V-Leaf as this engine makes the most sense because a lot of modern cards are following this trend of just sending cards to future and then bringing them back from the bind zone. So, why have we been soul charging and binding so much? Allow me to introduce the beast that the Chronostasis cult created. A mechanical Ouroboros, imbued by all the power of their experimental success and sacrifices alike. Meet Chronostasis Dragon, Ouroboros. Ouroboros is a very interesting unit. Its main skill takes inspiration from Chaos's, what I'm calling a Highlander soul effect, because he counts a number of different name cards in your soul to activate his skills or whatever. And I did this mainly because if you look at a lot of the Gear Chronicle inspired cards that exist right now in D formats, they often do us managing specific cards in Soul. But we're going to be doing things a little bit differently to not just make this card Chaos Monster 2. So, Vanguard skill. When this unit attacks, Soul Charge 1 and bind top card of your deck. This time is in May, we're just going all in. Then, once you achieve a certain number of cards with different names in your Soul, it gains the following effects. So, at least 4 cards in Soul, you gain a drive check. Once you hit 8, you can call up to 2 cards from your bind zone. Then at 12, at the end of the turn, soul blast 6 and gain an additional turn. That's right, we time walking, baby. No, it's not broken like MFD. Don't worry about it. From all my proxy testing so far, you tend to hit this 12 just about when you're ready to deck out. So the extra turn that you take is quite literally your final turn here. If you get there, I mean, you have to work for it. I think these 3 thresholds represent Gear Chronicle pretty well. Stride plus 1 simulates having a stride / grade 4, and I mean, Gear Chronicle literally brought stride into existence, so the whole call 2 cards from bind zone is more on the bind theme multi-attacking, once again going back to Javed skill and the whole mechanic for Steam Maidens. And Time Walk. I mean, we got a few strides that do that. It's not just the whole Mystery Flare fiasco, we also got a couple of other boys. Not to mention, the whole deal of counting to 12 feels like just hands ticking around a clock, which seems very timey-wimey. But that's not all. Although the skill may not be as cool as we're about to awakening more and more the more cards you sacrifice to it, I wanted to give you a reason to Persona Ride. And as Liquid Habits, there's still one Liquid Gear Chronicle that this deck was missing. So, when this unit Persona Rides, you get the Counterblast 2. And once you do that, you can target up to 2 cards in your drop zone and 2 cards in your opponent's field. Return those cards to the bottom of their respective winners' decks. Yes, time control. That's what I've always called it. Shut up. You may not remember this because United Sanctuary has been literally stealing it ever since D started. But Gear Chronicle has a tendency to send cards back into the bottom of the deck as a way of controlling the field, or simply just to send its own units back in time for own skills. This gives you both. I've been toying with this for a little while, and Countless 2 can send 2 from each side seems okay. I mean, admittedly, this is like the least tested part of this entire deck, but I just had to post this video at some point, so let's just pretend like it's very balanced and I'll adjust it later. Comment some suggestions on adjusting it below, and while you're down there, hit that thumb if you're enjoying this video. Anyways, I have one more card to introduce to you guys today. Now, typically, these new ride lines and the have been introduced with 1 or 2 support cards, and I figured what better support card for Gear Chronicle than a cute little Steam Maiden. Meet Sanaya. Steam Maiden Sanaya has one simple skill when you place her on Rearguard. You Counterblast 1, return a card in your bind zone to the bottom of your deck, and then choose one opponent's Rearguard with the same grade as the card that you return back as well. If you can return a card this way, you draw a card. Okay, I guess that this deck did have time control without giving Herbal her that skill. That's fine though. I mean, like, doubling up on skills will make archetypes more concise. So, like the big boy, she is the main use of Counterblast in this deck, and a way to slow down the Colt's wild race to bind soul charge themselves to deck out in order to power up or Vulture. Plus, it's waifu. I mean, are we really going to complain about more time waifus? I think that drawing the failed spin post rear card seems pretty fair. I mean, basically evens out the card that you spun from your Biza, which means that you're either looking at a wash draw if you fail to spin, or just a 1-for-1 spare fin for a cost of essentially Counterblast 1 and a -1 to targets that you could call from your Biza. So that's the call of Chronostasis. I've had a lot of fun developing these cards and just playtesting with all these paper proxies that I made at locals for the last few months while modifying the deck to make it pretty fair and balanced. Wish you would. If you watch, feel free to use these because, I mean, I would love to see something like this in real life come to the official card game. Everyone else, what do you guys think? Comment your fan cards down below and maybe I'll feature them in a future video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, always embrace the infinite.